We come down to the end of Rescue the Republic, and it has been quite the rally. Jacob, what are some of your final thoughts coming out of this?
Well, kind of like I said at the beginning, we saw, and the speakers themselves spoke about it, this is representative of a larger coalition of different groups coming together. They don't necessarily agree on political ideology. I don't even think everyone here is agreed on who they are going to vote for in November, despite the fact that it's sort of been portrayed as a potential Trump rally. But you see people here who are still all in for RFK. I've seen plenty of libertarians. There's the Libertarian National Party has a booth over yonder. So what everyone seems to be united here on, what all the speakers are united on, is the idea that what we have a common enemy, and we need to find ways to pursue policy solutions at the federal level, at the state level, at the local level, but also market solutions. And that seemed to be the focus of what a lot of the speakers were talking about as well.
Yeah. Would you say there was anything that was slightly disappointing? You didn't get to hear that. There was something you were expecting, but you didn't really hear that from people. Or was it very full and rich of the things that you were hoping for?
I gotta say, what I heard exceeded my expectations.
Wow.
I think Jordan Peterson knocked it out of the park at the beginning, and then before the current speaker, Jordan Peterson and Russell Brand were speaking together, and they really just killed it. I mean, that was a duo that I didn't know I needed in my life, was Jordan Peterson and Russell Brand riffing off of each other. They did excellent, and they were speaking from different backgrounds and different expertise. They were speaking to the same truth, which is a Christian truth that we here at LCI deeply understand, which is that the solution to state totalitarianism is voluntary submission to the true ruler, which is Jesus Christ, and to follow after his example, which is not centralized power, which is not to dominate people, but to lead through voluntary service to our fellow man and love for our fellow man.
I think that's at least the one major aspect that we need to truly hear coming out of this whole rally. And you heard it a lot. There was a lot of talk on faith in God that I don't think you would hear really in any other instance in terms of a political rally. So it was kind of refreshing from that standpoint.
Yeah, well, Russell Brand talked about it, and I hope I can remember the exact way he said it. He said, we are coming out of an era in Western society of where religion and spirituality was all sucked out of it. He called it like a desacralization. And people are waking up from that. They're realizing, you know what, there's more than the material world. Naturalism and secularism, they don't hold the actual answers. And so you see people all over the place. People like Russell Brand is just the tip of the iceberg of celebrities and ordinary people who are coming back to their faith, or at least exploring something beyond just what the materialism of the world has to offer. And they realize that this whole event called Rescue the Republic, right?
Right.
And we've talked about it ourselves, how there's a tension between those who see the value in American institutions and those who think that maybe they're more fundamentally flawed and perhaps we need something different. But what I think everyone here was speaking to was that we can't have the Republic or anything better than the Republic if we don't have the culture rooted in faith and in God and in institutions that are going to be greater authorities than that of our governing institutions, which is what Christianity offers, is the submission and acknowledgement to an ultimate higher authority than the state.
Yeah. I think this event has definitely shown, at least one side of the aisle, that it can be a big party political tent. That's what I kept hearing today from a lot of the people. This is a coalition of a big party that has come together under diverse viewpoints, but understanding that the essentials, the building blocks of our country, faith, freedom, free speech, health, all of those things are directly under attack, and we really need to combat those with a lot of vigor. What are some of your thoughts on that?
I agree wholeheartedly, and I think, me personally, not me speaking for LCI, I'm a diehard libertarian, and I have a hard time I mean, I used to be a Democrat. I have a hard time considering ever being part of the Republican Party. But you know what? There are liberty-minded people who are still in the GOP. I know there's even some liberty-adjacent people who are Democrats,
Sure.
and then those who don't even work within any political party. But what we should all hope for is that, you know what? If there's going to be a Republican Party, let the ideas of liberty influence and permeate it as much as is possible.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a Democrat Party, same thing there. And obviously the Libertarian Party, we hope that they're also influenced by not just the ideals of liberty, but the morals and the tradition that we venerate, through Christianity and the gospel. And so maybe we don't ever want to make perfect the enemy of good. And if all of these different groups can take the energy and the ideas talked about from this kind of rally and go, you know what? I'm going to make the Republican Party the best it can be. I'm going to make this group the best it can be. And they all at least have a shared, a lot of goals shared in common.
Yeah.
And they're working from these different different areas and different expertises. That's going to go a long way towards not just rescuing this republic, but rescuing this nation.
Yeah. I think the main message coming away from this Rescue the Republic rally is that we need to be led by liberty when it comes to our political decisions, but ultimately know that everybody can come from a different standpoint, have a belief in God, a diverse view, but understand that we can all live in a free society. And so that's been very refreshing to hear.
I agree. I think that an event like this also showcases just one of the principles of liberty, which is the idea of religious pluralism, and also just, like we talked about earlier, a true diversity.
Mm-hmm.
That is a free market idea. It's not just a progressive idea that the progressives have tried to hijack the language of diversity. But I believe in true diversity, which is the free market, when we are allowed to. It's like we actually, as Christians, should want a free society that has religious pluralism, because that is what allows us to best advance and champion the cause of the gospel.
Absolutely. It was always said that truth always holds water, so Christians shouldn't be afraid of a truthful society. So, well, thank you so much, Jacob, for being here, and it was great to spend the day with you and with Doug and with all these wonderful people who are here to champion liberty and rescue the Republic. Thanks again.
Thank you.